Hey everybody, this is Doc Mack from the Galloping Ghost Arcade out in Brookfield, Illinois. Today is Monday, August 12th, 2019, and we are here with yet another Monday mystery game, this time number 727. Last week we put out Contra Evolution, released from Konami back in 2011. Extremely crazy rare game, and that caused such a commotion all over the arcade gaming scene. People looking for that board now. Super rare game from China. It was took a long time to track that down. And it was like, what could we even put out that would rival that? We're about to find out pretty soon. Few things we got to cover. We had a ridiculous weekend. This was our T20 weekend, the 5th T20 that we have held. Thank you everybody that came out and participated, and what a great tournament. We had 20 games. Apologize, we had a little bit of an issue with our unveiling stream. We did our walk around and showed off the games, and unfortunately the live stream wasn't working properly, so we will get that posted eventually on YouTube for everybody to enjoy. I think there was 8 new games added. It was such a hectic week and a rush to get the games ready for T20. Glad everybody had a lot of fun. Tremendous show of skill and sportsmanship. We had a side tournament in 5 IREM games. That was won by Jamie Tibbetts, who did a phenomenal performance throughout the tournament, cutting it very close with Stephen Lucas, who also did great. It was down to the wire on the side tournament. The main tournament in the 20 games, it came down, it was Jamie Tibbetts, former Game of the Year, Jamie Tibbetts, in 3rd place, followed by Martin Bedard, who's also known as the Pro, who is no stranger to top 3 in T20. And then Zurst, you're holding on to your 5-time undefeated T20 champion. He is so good. He holds the T20 belt. And congratulations to him. Absolutely amazing. Phenomenal to watch him play and learn games. And, all weekend we saw everybody playing and sharing advice. And while it's a competition, there's still that camaraderie. And it's so awesome to see it every year. And the next T20, we're going all out. And we're going to do some really crazy stuff. We're already planning for it so far ahead of time. Hopefully we stick with that and don't do like we did this year, where we focus on getting the games ready a week before. But that's what makes it fun. So T20, the next one, the 6th one on our 10th year anniversary weekend, it's going to be ridiculous. So do not miss that. You can put in I don't know which weekend we're going to do it on, but we'll figure that out and get that posted very soon. Going back to Contra Evolution, we got to talk about the winners, the 10X winners. Pete Gores came in first on Contra Evolution, so he'll be getting 3 points towards the 10X championship. Larry Brocky came in second, who did phenomenally well in T20 as well, so congrats to him. He's getting 2 points for Contra. And then Jeff Lucas came in third, so he'll be getting 1 point. And the race towards the 10X championship continues on. Currently we see Pete Gores in first place with 12 points. Larry Brocky in second place with 10 points, and Jamie Tibbetts in third place with 9 points. So very awesome. We'll see who gets to 31st and dethrones James White as the 10X champion, unless he makes a strong comeback. We hope so. We will see. Who knows? We will see what happens. We also have our tournament going on against the One-Up Arcade out in Brisbane. This month is in Last Blade 2, which is a phenomenal game. It's so great to see everybody putting in scores this weekend. Aaron Ozins and Blonde Bunny were working hard. So we've lost the last 3 against the Arcade One-Up out in Brisbane. So we want to see everybody put in scores in Last Blade 2. Hopefully we can take that title back and put it back here. So we shall see. What else do we have to cover? We have a swap meet coming up. Stay tuned for information on that very soon. And again, tomorrow, our 9-year anniversary. Can you believe 9 years ago, 2010, August 13th, those doors swung open for the first time. People flooded in, and it's going to be an event tomorrow. right around 5 p.m., we will be announcing our Gamer of the Year. Chris Plackey will be turning the belt over. Will he reclaim it? Who knows? A lot of great competition going on, and we shall see who is the Gamer of the Year for this year at the Galloping Ghost Arcade. Very excited for that. But now, they're demanding it in the stream chat. They want it. What is number 727? What could follow Contra Evolution?
Mortal Kombat 12.
Mortal Kombat 12? Maybe. Let's see. Let's summon forth former Gamer of the Year to help with today's unveiling. Pete, how was the weekend?
Well, considering it was at T20, I'd say it was great. I just wanted to shout out everyone that came to T20. The event was a ton of fun to run. It's always great to see players see how they play in their element, see people break down the games. It's awesome to see camaraderie. Like, these people are technically competing against each other. And yes, look who's here. One thing I do want to say, though, and this isn't directed at anyone in particular, I hear a lot of people say, I have no chance of winning, there's no point in me coming out. Well, there's something just about being here. Even if you have no aspirations of winning. Like, I just want to give a 2-second, personal experience. Like, I used to play in Ghost Battle Series for Mortal Kombat 9 and Injustice against some of the best players in the country. I would have liked to have won, but I still showed up, even though my chances of winning were literally less than 5% on any given week. I would have to go against, 16-bit, and I'd have to go against Slips, and I'd have to go against Dizzy, and there's no way I'm beating all three of those guys to win. But it was fun to be here. So I recommend that if winning is a requirement to have fun, then, maybe don't show up. But it's a fun tournament. I want everyone to come out. We want to see more people next year. So hopefully we'll see you then.
Thank you, Pete. The other players had a lot of the same comments yesterday. Guys like Tim Foley and others. They're there. Of course, they want to win, but you get to hang out with people from the community. And later yesterday night, Jason Crow showed up. It was great to see him. He's always a pillar of the foundation of the community behind this place. And he's moved away, but it's so awesome to see him out here. And he wanted to be a part of T20 and just to even see it and hang out with the people that were part of it. And I see Fat Chris standing there. Let's bring Fat Chris up for a second. Fat Chris coming up. A surprise. Fat Chris, what is up, man? Thank you so much for coming in, man.
You're welcome.
It's one of the loyal supporters of Galloping Ghost Arcade. You send pizzas here all the time. Thank you so much for everything you do. Absolutely amazing. I'm so happy you are here today.
It's all my pleasure. Being in this place brings back happy feelings of life, and if I can make everybody else happy, and I'm 2,000 miles away, and it doesn't bother me to do something like that, man.
Thank you so much, man. Fat Chris. The one and only. Rocking that ghost patch. So cool, so cool. But now, without any further ado, your Monday mystery game, and its extremely long story to follow, is none other than Dragon Gun. Released from Data East in 1992. Wow, we spent 3 years trying to track this game down, and it was astonishing that there's so little information on it. And I had never seen the cabinet in real life, and only one person on KLOV thought that they might have a board, but they didn't know where it was, and I know other super collectors have been looking for it forever. And there's a picture I believe it was on Instagram many years ago, And that was the only time I had seen a cabinet, but it was out in the Tian Mall in China. So again, I went to Sam Gates, who roommates with somebody from China, and had him calling China in the middle of the night, trying to track down. He was calling the mall, he was calling the arcade, trying to find this game for everybody, and to no avail. And then it was we were so concerned. How are we going to find the board? It shared the same board as Locked and Loaded. We looked at possibly trying to find a way to convert the board. That wasn't going to work. The ROMs were not there. While they're on MAME, you couldn't replicate them off the board. And then how would we find the guns? These custom guns, they have a speaker in them. The gun is actually talking to you while you're playing and stuff, in Japanese, of course. But it all kind of fell into place. A board popped up in Japan, and then a gun popped up in Japan, and then the other gun popped up in Japan, and we managed to get all of it. We had custom side art from Jim next over at Galloping Ghost Reproductions. He redid side art, the marquee, control panel art, everything. And we've made it so close to that picture out in the one we saw in China. We went with a steel gunner cabinet, which is what was used in that picture. And literally, this is a 3-year effort to get this game down. And I had never even played it. I wasn't didn't know what to expect. After playing it, it turns out it's one of the best gun games that I've ever played. It is so amazing. And I've been so excited to get this cabinet built up. We had it in T20, so some of those guys were able to play it over the weekend. And I don't know how Stephen Lucas thought it was going to be asterisked when the cabinet was like this, but that's all right. He guessed it, and we put Dragon Gun out, and it surprised Stephen Lucas probably most of all. How he thought it was going to be a 2-player asterisk, I don't know, but that's all right. That's all right. Let's bring up Fat Chris. I want Fat Chris to play the inaugural game on this. Fat Chris, amazing Operation Wolf player, amazing Chiller player. I am so excited. All along, like once you started coming out here, I knew you had a passion for gun games, Revolution X and such, and I am so anxious. You're one of the reasons that this is here, because it was like, man, Fat Chris digs some light gun games. What is he going to say about this one? This, honestly, I can't tell enough. Like the theme, I'm a huge fan of Dragons to begin with, but this game plays so well. It is visually unbelievable, audibly very amazing.
Final fight in here.
Little bit. It is Bulldog taking off. See ya, Bulldog. It is amazing. Hannah R. Lewis, saying it's super insane. Absolutely, it is super insane. The game plays. I am so anxious to get more time on this game. We got it up and running. Huge thanks to Doug Fox, who we were having some issues with some of the wiring on one of the guns. Managed to get that all squared away. And now we have Dragon Gun here at the Galloping Ghost Arcade, number 727. Shout outs to David Fox and Joey, Chris Plackey, Ken Walker. Thank you all for joining us in our Facebook stream. So many crazy monsters in this game. There's so much action going on. So many secrets, like lighting up those windows. You use a bomb, they light up automatically when you drop the bomb, but when you shoot, you can light up each window individually. There's most likely a lot of hidden things going on in this game. The bosses are huge. Lots of cool power-ups. This came out in 1992, released from Data East. A lot of scaling and scrolling going on. Thank you, Jamie Tibbetts, in the stream chat, saying the direct feed looking and sounding great. It is a tough game. There is a lot of stuff to shoot at one time. And even level 1, it's not like a soft build up to the action. You're thrown in. When you don't shoot, your gun powers up as well. See, there's a lot of here. There's statues and suits of armor that you can be shooting. The enemies, sometimes you'll shoot them and they'll turn into 2 different enemies. Like you'll shoot their legs off. Fat Chris approved. The reticle grows bigger, and then you get 4 shots at once if you don't fire for a little bit. So you can power your gun up. Here comes this giant armored skeleton. Knocks off his arm with the shield. He's working on the chest armor. Can shoot him in the arm, take his arm off. Get him to drop that sword. He passes him by. The chandeliers, same thing. You can shoot them. Very destructive environments. I played it a few days ago. I started playing for the first time. We were rushing to get this ready for the T20, and it was so... we were waiting on so many different parts to it. The cabinet, huge shout outs to Rob Burke from Pinball Expo, which we look forward to joining him at Pinball Expo relatively soon. He sent us a spare steel gunner cabinet that he had, and we converted that and used that as our source cabinet and our base to start. The guns is interesting because we had to figure out the game had 2 speakers in the guns, so we had to figure out how those were wired. There's no manual or anything on the wiring for this, so there was a lot of I hope this works, and lo and behold, it did. It was one, we worked so hard on tracking it down. We weren't sure. Again, there's a super collector that we know that has been searching for probably close to much longer than we had been looking, like years and years and years, and you could just not find this game. And we are so happy to have it here and represented. I'm a huge fan of Data East games. Like, huge fan of like everything about this game is just ridiculous, and visually it was one that personally I was so anxious to share with everybody. And again, the games, so many of them, even if they're rare, you can obtain them. It's games like this and Contra Evolution and stuff that has me and all of us calling all the super collectors we know and searching and trying to find where we can get a board or how we can get the game to work, and to be able to put it out for everybody to enjoy. It's so fortuitous that Fat Chris being here, who just loves gun games, so anxious to see what he thinks of it. Can't wait to see what everybody thinks of it. This is one of the most fun things for me at the arcade, is to see people play games that they didn't know existed and get their reactions to them. Because that's how the arcades were back in the day, when games like this would roll onto the floor and you'd walk up to it and it'd be the first time you played it. And would it be something that you put more money in? Was it something that you were out of the box good at? And it's just so awesome to recreate that experience now. As the players, they have MAME, they've been in arcades for decades, and they're seeing so many games, and so many people are talking about crazy rare games. To be able to put out something that is visually so good and audibly so good, and everything on this game should have been like, why doesn't everybody know about this game? And now hopefully they will be able to know about it. People will come here, see it, play it, tell their friends that it's here. And that was an awesome first play. Getting through level 1 is ridiculous. A fat Chris. What did you think?
I want to tell you, man, I've never heard of it or seen it, but that game is the jam.
That is awesome. That makes me so happy that you are here and are able to play it first. That is, I hope you play it some more. I don't know how long you're in for, but
I'll be here for 3 days.
3 days. Very awesome. Fat Chris, thank you so much. Awesome seeing you. Who's next on it? Stephen Lucas stepping up. We are going to wrap up our Facebook stream, but jump over to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Galloping Ghost Arcade. We're going to continue the stream there. And of course, we will be back next week. Oh, join us tomorrow. Don't miss tomorrow, the 9th year anniversary. Who will be our Gamer of the Year? We will find out tomorrow, 5 p.m. Join us for that. Don't miss it. And then again, join us next Monday for 728 that'll be going on the arcade floor. One last time for this week, your Monday mystery game, Dragon Gun, released from Data East back in 1992. We'll put the whole story on Facebook tomorrow, so stay tuned. Check that out tomorrow. Again, thank you everybody on Facebook for joining us. Steven, Chris, Tim, awesome. Thank you so much. And we will see everybody next week. Until then, this is Doc Mac from the Galloping Ghost Arcade. We hope to see you around the arcade soon. Thanks a lot, everybody.